Yeah, so I'll admit I don't cold call. I don't do a lot of that stuff. I honestly I'm very active on social media and just being
Okay.
like very authentically myself and just staying in contact with people on social media or just, out in the city, living in Baltimore. And I
Mhm.
think, that's really been just a huge part to show like I am human. Like I'm not cold calling you every month. Hey, how are you doing? Like it's just not really me.
Welcome to the Maryland Real Estate Influencers Podcast, where we explore the ins and outs of the local real estate market. Join us as we chat with industry experts, uncovering tips, trends, and strategies to help you navigate Maryland's real estate landscape. Get ready to elevate your real estate game. Let's dive in. Hi, y'all. Thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of Maryland Real Estate Influencers Podcast. Today, we have Ashley Thomas with us. Thank you so much, Ashley, for coming on board and making some time for us today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Would you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your brokerage?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Ashley Thomas. I am a Maryland native. I grew up in Laurel, Howard County. Um, Moved away for college for a few years went to UNC down in North Carolina, go Tar Heels, and went actually after college. So I was a business major, ended up not going straight into getting a corporate job. And after college, I actually moved abroad for almost 2 years.
Oh,
Came back in the end of 2018 and actually started working with my father in construction. And that is kind of how real estate grew to be where I am today. So I was doing commercial construction with him. We started flipping houses with my brother as well. And we were kind of like, all right, someone needs to get their license to make this process a little bit easier. And I was the one to do it.
that's awesome.
Yeah. And, funny enough, it's like, you have to hang your license somewhere, right? So I started interviewing at, brokerages and different teams. And Annie Balcerzak signed. She was selling a house on my block. I was living in Fells Point. And I called her up and we ended up just hitting it off immediately. And yeah, so I am now with the Balcerzak group of AB and Co Realtors.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that story.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And telling us how you got into the industry. And not only that, but sharing that your family is in it too. In the people that I've interviewed, there's a very small percentage that the family is in the industry as well. And I
Yes.
find that fascinating.
Yeah, it was a fun little way to get into it. We were flipping and renovating, and of course, like with how crazy the market is, it's been a couple of years since we did it, which worked out because I got my license and hung it with Annie, and then it was about 3 years ago now, so September 2020, when the market was just starting to go insane. So I kind of just was like heads down, so busy with real estate, but we actually haven't even done a project since.
Oh, wow, really?
And now
That
I am
is so
full time.
unique.
Yeah.
My daughter's in the middle of looking for a house right now, and I was shocked to see how many homes in our area in Anne Arundel County. We're in Pasadena. There is so many of the homes that she's looking at are renovated homes, and they're empty. And I didn't realize that investors and flips were that big at this time. I don't know if they're that big at this time or if that's simply what's on the market that in this particular area. I
Mhm.
was really shocked about that. Do you have any details about that since you brought it up?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you have, there's a lot of investors who aren't super active in the market, but I think the ones who are, I kind of tell my clients, I'm like the investors who have like well-oiled machines, like they didn't have to deal with the supply chain issues and all of that during COVID because they had, their go-to vendors. So, the smaller investors are the ones who got squeezed out because, your vendor is obviously going to prioritize the flipper who gives them, multiple deals a year versus just one sole guy who's trying to flip a house. It's harder for them to get materials and they don't have their systems and processes like as, fine tuned. So there are investment opportunities out there. Us personally, we're like, we're all too busy at the moment. Clearly, I'm slammed in real estate, and my brother has a full-time job as well. So we're kind of, taking a little pause for the moment, but soon enough, we'll be back.
Sure, absolutely. I wanted to blah, 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 ask some questions, if I may. Do you have a business coach or a mentor that you work with?
So I don't have a specific like coach or mentor. I would say, our team is extremely, extremely tight knit. Like we have a weekly meeting. We're constantly talking in our group chat every single day, all day. So I would say my mentors are truly just my teammates. Like when I got in, Annie and a bunch of the other really successful agents on the team were just, everyone's an open book and willing to share and help. And that's, we're basically a family here. I'm actually getting married next week, and Annie is officiating my wedding. So
Oh, wow. I would say that's close family. Yes.
yeah.
That is wonderful. I wanted to ask, do you have a daily success plan that you're open to sharing with us?
So I don't have like a concrete kind of plan. I mean, my big things every day, I have a good morning routine. I get up, I go on a 2-mile walk with my dogs, I go to the gym, and basically like up until 8:30, it's me time. And then after that is when I buckle down and start getting into real estate and all the things going on day to day. Like I said, when I started, the market was just so crazy. Like it was kind of head down and just run, run, run. And now that things have like kind of slowed down a bit, it's actually been really good for me to be like, okay, what do I want my schedule to be like? What do I want to do with my CRM? Like all of the things. So that's kind of been a blessing this year of like, okay, I can actually like work on my business versus just like running and, running to show houses, running to meet clients, that stuff. So it's been a definitely interesting couple months, like figuring and navigating that all out. But 2024, I will have a full daily success plan, hopefully.
Okay. So you're newer in the business, and yet you're still one of the top 5% of realtors in the state of Maryland. How did that happen?
Great question. Truly, I mean, I couldn't have done it without the team. Like coming in, we have really good training, very hands-on, our admin staff is very like, they don't let you just go start doing things, right? So it's a very intensive training process, hands-on, like I did things coming in, and I think I sold my first house in like the first month that I had my license. But we have coaching and we have our admin staff to help guide us through. And so I think that kind of just set the good framework of like, okay, this is what you need to do, and this is how you get it done. I was very lucky just to kind of, I don't know, with the market, a lot of my leads have been Sphere, which is great, and Sphere referrals and everything. I mean, I am local, so I do, have a good network here, which is awesome. And, how people, trusted me so early on, I obviously am so appreciative to them. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of happened really organically.
So is the business coming that you're receiving now, was it from your father's flipping business initially, the family flipping business, or was it more like you mentioned your Sphere? And what did you do to communicate with your Sphere?
Yeah, so my dad's actually like main business, so he's commercial construction. So nothing from him. I mean, I have great contractors and stuff I can, refer out to clients, which is great. But honestly, so a lot was just my friends and family, which is awesome. And friends of friends, I live downtown, so just kind of staying in front of people is always a big thing. Our team is also a partner with Zillow Flex, which has been a great source. So instead of paying into Zillow on the front end, we pay them a referral when we close a deal on the back end. So we, are very fortunate. I think we're like one of the couple teams in Maryland who are actually in that program now. So that's been really helpful, but I'd say my business is about half Sphere and half lender referrals, open houses, those kinds of things as well.
Okay. And what are you doing to stay in contact with your Sphere? Because I know like certain mentors or coaches, whether it's Brian Buffini or Tom Ferry, they have really kind of like a, if you will, a checklist system or a CRM that tells you, okay, today you write letters, X amount of letters. Today you make X amount of phone calls to X amount of individuals, whether it's prospects or past clients, or you're working with your leads one day. So what have you done in the past that has been successful for you?
Yeah, so I'll admit, I don't cold call. I don't do a lot of that stuff. I honestly I'm very active on social media and just being
Okay.
like very authentically myself and just staying in contact with people on social media or just, out in the city, living in Baltimore. And I think, that's really been just a huge heart to show, like, I am human. Like, I'm not cold calling you every month. Hey, how are you doing? Like, it's just not really me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so really just engaging with people on social media. Like people get engaged, close friends, I know small things like small gifts, or I send happy birthday cards. I send like house anniversary gifts, things like that. Just like very genuine, life events. I don't know. I think I'm like very authentically myself, and that kind of draws people more to me versus me forcing like, okay, every 3 months, I'm going to call my cousin in Harford County and see, like, I don't know. Try to do like a certain amount of touches on Instagram or something a
Okay.
week. I'm not very good about like counting or whatever. I just, in the mornings, I'll go on, see what everyone's up to, and same at night. And I put content out, just educational pieces about real estate and also just what I'm up to day to day. And I think that's how I just stay in front of people, and, people come to me, which is awesome.
That's great. That is really wonderful. And I commend you for being authentic, and getting your true authentic self out there. I had a friend say to me the other evening, it's like, which Jen is going to show up today? Because, you have the serious side that's at work, and then you have my side that's outside of work. And the comical part is everybody that has known me in this industry for 25 years knows me in one facet. But they don't know me when I'm not on. If you're
Right.
not on, you're not working, you're not in sales mode, because the personal Jen is really so different than the business Jen. And my girlfriend just loves that about, like, she's like, I love how you just like, you're like a chameleon. And when you're around people that are like more introverted, your body can change, your body language can change in your communication. And then you can turn around to somebody that's extroverted and have a great conversation with them. And of course, it's about mirroring, um,
Right.
and the energy. And I've never had somebody give me that compliment before, and had to think about it. I'm like, is that really a compliment? But I'm going to take it as so, because I think that's how my friend meant it. So I commend you for having the ability to be authentic on social media, and when you're communicating with clients.
Oh yeah, if you pop on our Instagram, you'll see a lot of me and Annie doing dances in the office. And
I am
you know,
so turning that on, I have to tell you.
people are like, "Do you guys actually sell houses?" We're like, "Yeah, we have fun too. We're not always working."
Right. Oh my gosh, I love that. I do. So what trends, well, first of all, could you tell us, do you have a certain geographic area that you work in Maryland, specifically, or do you kind of just go everywhere?
So I live downtown in Canton now. So I'd say most of my business is in the city. Like I said, I'm from Howard County, so some there, Baltimore County, pretty much kind of all over. But I live in the city, so I'm down there a lot. And that's kind of, my group of friends and my age group is mostly buying in the city. So I would say that's my primary area, but I go anywhere.
Okay, gotcha. And right now we're recording, and it's in September of 2023. And I think it's the end. Yeah, it is the end of September. So I'm wondering what trends you were seeing in the marketplace down in Baltimore City. in the Canton area right now. What are you seeing when it comes to pricing? What are you seeing when it comes to just trends in making offers, both on the buyer side and the seller side?
Yeah, so I think things have slowed down a little bit in the city the past few weeks. 2 months ago it was waiving everything and bidding over and 20 offers and all of this. And I don't know, the past like few weeks, month or so, I would say a lot of I primarily work with buyers. I work with sellers too, but we're not waiving contingencies. We're negotiating repairs. Days on market are up a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I think it's good.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot, especially first time home buyers, they've been put through the ringer lately. And I love, a lot of my buyers are getting over appraisals and things like that, which is awesome. And
That's
getting
great.
fixed by the sellers. And so it's good in my opinion.
Yes, yes, yes. Somebody was just posted on social media that in Harford County, I think they had like 8 price reductions on homes that day. I think it was this morning or maybe last night when I saw it. And I was just like, wow. And I'm like, thank you for sharing that information, because there's some of us that don't get to see that, like y'all see it every day. And I
Right.
thought that was very valuable to get out there to home buyers to let them know what's going on and give them a little bit of hope as to what's happening in this market right now.
Right. And of course it depends on, if something's priced really well, there's
Of
still,
course.
it just depends on the exact neighborhoods. But overall, that is what I'm seeing, which is great. I love it.
Oh,
Get my
yes.
in, it's awesome.
That is great. Well, thank you for sharing that. So what goals do you have yourself as we get into Q4 here of 2023? What goals do you have for yourself?
So, like I mentioned, I'm actually getting married next week. So, of course, I'm still working on my business, but I'm kind of taking a little bit of time off, which I'm excited about after kind
Sure.
of running so hard the past couple of years. I'm excited to take some time off. I'm actually going to be on a month-long honeymoon
Oh,
come
cool.
mid-October to mid-November. So that cuts into my Q4 quite a bit. But, I still have, again, I have an amazing team surrounded me. So my clients who are, under contract or still looking, we have a great support system and, coverage is the best thing ever. And, I have people to help. So goals are just kind of to get through Q4, and I'm excited to come back and, start Q1 of 2024 really strong. And, just 2024, I would love to so I have a couple investment properties myself. So my fiance and I are hoping to get another one next year. That's a big goal for us. We got one this year and one last year. So that's kind of our trend.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. You have a nice retirement set up for yourself in no time flat. That's good. What skills are you working on at this time and as you go into 2024? Are there any kind of skills that you're working on for yourself?
Um, Honestly, like I kind of said, discipline and like getting down a schedule, more of a schedule down for my day to day. And also just some boundaries. I will be the first to say, like, I used to wake up, immediately look at my phone, immediately start responding to emails and texts and all of that. And I've started a big one right now is I'm trying not to look at anything till like 8 or 8:30 in the morning. Obviously, if there's urgent stuff, people will call me, but I don't think anything's that urgent that early in the morning. But yeah, I listened to a podcast and it was like, if you start off your day looking at your phone and responding to things, like you immediately set your day up to be in a reactive mindset versus a proactive mindset. And so I really like took that to heart and I was like, okay, nope, like my mornings for me, I will get to things starting at 8 or 8:30. So that's a big one right now. And my fiance will be the first day he's noticed a difference for sure.
Oh, that's
Our
good.
morning walk and all the things.
Well, what podcast do you listen to?
I listened to a few. This is actually one of my friends from college just started a podcast. It's called My Brain Hurts. And she just kind of goes, she's mid-20s and kind of goes through just, life and the things she's learned about health and wellness. And, it's a fun, like yours is 20-30 minutes. Same with her, it's a good car ride in between showings.
Yes.
So I do listen to a lot of other podcasts like Trading Secrets and, a lot of real estate ones as well, but
That's good. That's good. I love to give that back to the audience. So if they need something that helps them and motivates them throughout the day. And then are you reading any books right now?
I'm not reading any like real estate or professional driven books. I'm reading a lot of like Colleen Hoover at the moment, finishing up like the beach reads I wanted to read this summer.
Gotcha.
Finishing those up. But honestly, not a lot of time at the moment. So much going on.
I'm sure with the wedding, I'm sure everything. I just had a friend that got married and she said the last month was a whirlwind and she is so excited now that she's excited for the day and now it's past. And she said, it feels so great to get back into regular life and get back into her routine and her rhythm. And I wish the same for you, that you get that as well.
Yes, we were a little crazy, and buying a new rental property a couple months before the wedding was probably not, we got it done and, it's just been a little nuts, but it's set up, we're fully rented, so we're fine.
Good. So if people are interested in finding out more about you and or your team that you work for, how can they get in contact with you? Would you like them to contact me or would you like them to contact you?
No, they can reach out directly. So I'm ASH __TEE on Instagram, Ash T. And of course, we're the Balcerzak group on all socials. You can find us pretty much anywhere, or come say hi. We're on York Road. You'll see the hot pink door out front. Can't miss it. Can't miss it in the area.
I love that. Ashley, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me today. I so appreciate you coming on board today and chatting with us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. And for all those that are listening, please take a moment and send this to 2 of your colleagues that will find it valuable. And please leave a review on whichever podcast platform you're listening on. We would really appreciate making sure we reach out to all the realtors in the state of Maryland. Until next time, everybody, have a great day. Thank you for joining the Maryland Real Estate Influencers podcast. We'd like to ask you 2 favors. Number 1, forward this podcast to 3 of your favorite realtor friends. They'll thank you for it, and I'll thank you for it too. Number 2, we'd love reviews. It helps get the word out.